Let's get into our interview with Luis Rojas. And before that, let me get to the chat. Consumer Cellular, what's going on, man? I hope Nimmo can come back in the second game tonight. I hope so too, man. He's a big addition to this team. All right, so we're actually going to be talking with Luis Rojas now. And also, if you guys want to type in the chat any questions for our awesome manager, Luis, uh, he'll be very happy to answer them. So, Luis, what's going on, man? How you doing today?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's going on, Luis? How you doing, man?
Oh, I am doing quite excellent today. How are you doing, loyal Mets fan?
I'm doing good. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. My dog's in the background. Yeah, she just dropped the dump. Like I was laughing at that. Don't worry, man. So here we go. So I got a couple questions for you. Since the show only happens once a week, we kind of got some stuff from the past we need to cover. So first thing I want to talk about is, Dom and Alvarado, they kind of had their history this year. Where were you when the whole brawl happened? We didn't quite see you on the camera. Now the camera's not everything. Where were you then?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, let's see. Well, it was definitely a very unfortunate brawl. I definitely was out there. I was in my sweater. It was very chilly out. Philly weather.
Yep.
Philadelphia doesn't have many nice girls, but they have nice cheesesteaks and weather. But like I said, it was very cold out. It was very chilly out, so I had to put my sweater on. My grandmother knitted it for me the night
Oh,
prior,
awesome.
so I was able to wear that luckily. But
Yep.
I was out there. I was out there. I was about to go out there, and then Pete stopped me. And with
Oh.
and they're like, "Yo, Skip, you wanted to talk to the umpires for you," and I was like, "Players, managers, great." So I let him, and then I was looking in the dugout, trying to keep peace with the fans. There were two fans arguing in the stands, so I was just making sure, monitoring it.
That's awesome to hear, man. I'm glad you were, kind of getting involved and whatnot. All right, so my second question for you, so in that Philly series, the whole umpire thing happened with McCutchen getting called out on the base path. That's obviously not a reviewable call. If that were to happen to your team, what would you do? Would you kind of get in the umpire's face, or would you kind of just say, "Hey, let the umpires be, like they messed up"? But we all make mistakes. I mean, look at the Mets so far. We've made quite a bit of mistakes. I think it's safe to assume you've made a few mistakes here and there with your managing decisions.
No mistakes. Well, I think the thing with that was Andrew McCutchen was definitely out of the baseline. We see that Joe Girardi is not a good manager. In my managerial history of over 2 years, which is so much that any umpire could like for a manager. But overall, I think what we saw was a manager being an asshole. Girardi got in his face.
Oh, okay.
It was his daughter's graduation, and he ruined his daughter's graduation. But luckily, he was not ejected nor suspended. I mean, you should not be ejected or suspended. I was hoping to go my whole career without getting an ejection. I sadly got that. I learned from my big mistake.
Yeah, there are a couple of kids out there who got pretty fired up about it. Like this bunch of Mets people, like on I think it's called like Mets fans only or something. Live stream. They got really excited about it, which is it's weird because you usually want your manager to stay the whole game to make his awesome decisions. But I'm gonna get to
but I think I definitely riled my team up.
Yep.
I think in terms of that was me, I would go out there. I'd put on my 5 masks.
Yeah, COVID safety. It's important, man, for sure.
Masks. I'd walk out there with my hands crossed like an 80-year-old grandfather, and I'd politely talk with him. And then I'd buy him a cup of coffee afterwards the game. And, we'd talk and we'd say, hey, listen, let's say the player was McNeil. McNeil's a good base stealer, or someone like Nimmo, both great base stealers. I mean, not as good as James McCann. I think James McCann is probably the best base stealer on our team, who will likely most have the success. But let's say James McCann went out of the base pass, and let's say he just touched the green grass. I would have went out there nice and calmly.
Cool, man. All right, next question. So with Edwin Diaz, he kind of got lucky. He didn't blow the game. Luckily, the call went our way. So did he let you know he was feeling back tightness, or did he kind of just, Edwin Diaz, your closer?
Oh, of course. Oh, he's the closer. Oh, I thought he was a long reliever, or even a starter. Well, I've been having talks with Diaz. He did express it to me, and I kind of stood there. I stood there, and he told me it. He said he wanted to go on the field. I trust my bullpen pitchers. Freely is the best one we got, but Diaz is probably maybe the third or fourth best. He told me he was ready to go out there. He said, I recommended he shouldn't. He said, I got it. I'm not going to argue with him. He knows more about baseball than me, probably. More than a manager, of course. So I let him go out there. Obviously, he threw that 1, 2, 3, 4 straight walk to, I believe it was whoever that Phillies fuckface was. I think it was
Oh,
Jason
okay.
or someone like that. But he threw that 1, 2, 3, 4, which is definitely not unusual for Diaz. Definitely, he always loses his command, just like Familia. But overall, he went out there and then he gave up that double, and then he gave up a ton of hits. I trusted him. The big concern was that we used him 3 days, 4 days in a row. But personally, my module is you go a week and then you get a week off. But the thing is, we
wow.
did have Trevor May, but then Trevor May would have been out for 2 days. Although we definitely could have went to someone like Zamora or Reed Foley, but the thing is, the thing is with Trevor May is that Trevor May never really has been more than an inning, so I am not allowed to do that.
Well, that's quite some nuanced bullpen managing, Luis.
Yeah,
I'm glad you shared that with us. All right. So, game yesterday, why did it take so long to take Lucchesi out? Do you kind of just trust him? You thought you could get out of it? Or, did you want to save your bullpen? Can you kind of go on that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, listen, the bullpen's very, very important. We look, there's a lot of people, a lot of managers, not myself though, like a lot of managers, Bob Melvin, Kevin Cash, Joe Girardi, Aaron Boone, they treat their bullpen, they'll treat their pitchers like chess pieces. And I don't do that. I leave pitchers in for, last year everyone said I left them in too long. I do not believe that was true. I left them in too short last year, so I have to make up for that and leave them in extra long. So I definitely thought 4 innings was enough. Everyone was saying I should have took him out once Arenado got that 3-run home run to tie it up, but I said, fuck diggity dog, no. And I figured I'd leave him in. We didn't really have too many options. There was plans on putting in Castro, but Miguel Castro, I told him he has to be polite and make his hat more straightward because of my OCD and all that stuff.
Is he wearing the right hat? I know he didn't do that once.
That was my hat, actually.
Okay.
I told him we were wearing the white hats. But yes, that was the issue with Lucchesi. Personally, like I said, pitchers, they have to stay longer. That's my module. Starting pitchers goes 5 innings, and then we use the bullpen. But the bullpen pitcher has to have at least 2 to 3 days of experience prior to pitch. Because if we use guys like Reed Foley and Zamora who haven't really pitched 2 games prior, they will be dumb.
All right, Luis, we actually got our first viewer question from Humma. I think that's his name. Yes, why are you so stupid? I don't agree with this, but it's his question. Can you kind of elaborate on this?
I am not super sure.
Okay. Next question. Oh. All right. So my next question. So what the hell is going on with Lindor? I think he's the best shortstop in baseball, and he's not really playing like it. He's kind of playing like one of the worst shortstops in baseball. What's going on with that? And could firing of your staff, could that kind of help get him back to where he was before? What's going on with that?
He needs some milk.
Oh, he needs milk. Okay, thank you. So I can kind of ask the question again. What's your reaction to firings of Chili and Slate? Like, what's your reaction to that?
Oh well, Chili and Tom Seaver. No, I mean Slater.
Slater, yep.
Whatever the fuck their name is. Big Mac Chili and Tom Seaver Slater. Well, listen, they were, they're very analytically inclined. They are very old school. Chili Davis is like 160 years old.
Yeah, he's an old dude, man.
Maybe the last 2 numbers. But Chili Davis, actually, I think he's 60 years old. I think we had a birthday party for him last year, and I brought him some nice cake. But I think if we look at this, they're analytically inclined, as stated. And we live in a day and age where analytics take over. A lot of our guys, including myself, I played in the major league. I almost made it to the major leagues, but you
had family in the major leagues.
Yeah. I was gonna make it, but I missed the bus that day. I was a little late.
Oh, okay.
To make it. But everyone's saying I would have been, the next Barry Bonds, Honus Wagner, any of that stuff. But the thing with Chili Davis is that a lot of our players didn't like him. Pete Alonso cried because that's how much he didn't like him.
Oh wow.
And a lot of our guys were not hitting. Lindor was not hitting. And I said at the beginning of the year, Chili Davis, if Lindor doesn't hit because of you, screw everyone else, you will be fired. But I think if we look at Chili Davis and Tom Seaver, Slater Seaver, I think we look at that. Like I said, they were analytically inclined. We live in a day and age of analytics, and screw the human eye. We know that guys like Pete Alonso, who are not fond of Taco Bell.
The analytics, right?
Sorry about that. I was coughing. I was a little ill. I have the virus corona.
Oh wow.
You know,
Well, so wait, did you get tested yet for it, or is it like a false
yes.
positive, or?
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio. I think he's
Oh,
making
we're getting political here, Luis.
Citi
Okay.
Field and Yankee Stadium, the trash can place. I think they're giving vaccines during the game, which is very excellent in my opinion. But back to Tom Sleever, Slater, Chili, Davis, Big Mac. I think, like I said, they were analytically inclined. And even guys like Pete Alonso said that, they prefer, Pete Alonso said today in a press conference, I was watching it when I was hitting the gym before. He said that while he steps up to bat, he may as well bring a computer to see. So that shows how much he hates analytics. So Pete Alonso maybe next. We're going to have to see. Just kidding. I love Pete Alonso. He's my dad. He'll be here to the end. But overall, it's very unfortunate. Everyone's saying I'm next to go. I have to say, well, two things to you people. Fuck you.
Okay, well, we're gonna get more to that in a little bit, but
sure.
I got a question here. This might be more for Zach when I can get Zach or Sandy on, but it's when will you trade DeGrom, or do you have plans to trade DeGrom?
Oh, for sure. Well, I think we look at Jacob DeGrom to go. He doesn't give his guy. He's a shitty pitcher. He goes out there, but then he makes our bats bad. So I wouldn't be opposed to trading him. I have been talking with the Mariners. I know they expressed interest. I know we traded two great prospects and we got a great deal with them 2 years ago. So who knows? Maybe we can get a guy like Yusei Kikuchi. I think he's much better than DeGrom. We can get him. If we want to get Justin Dunn back, that could also work. But Jared Kelenic, I mean, he could pitch, and everyone's saying he's the number one prospect. Even Jacob DeGrom, he was like a 6th or 7th round prospect, so he must be horseshit. But in terms of trading DeGrom, we did extend him 2 years ago. We had the extension, and it was not very difficult. It was like the Lindor. It was 10 times worse than Lindor and the Conforto, and I know there were memes of him getting traded to the New York Yankees. But in terms of trading DeGrom, we are in the midst of it. We would like to go try to get a guy like Yusei Kikuchi back, or maybe go to the Texas Rangers. Maybe a guy like Dane Dunning would be nice.
Oh wow, okay. Well, that's quite the story. I'm glad you kind of broke the news here on Big Al Baseball Banter. But next question: can you discuss some of the recent injuries? JD, Guillorme, Nimmo, DeGrom. Can you kind of give us an update on all the guys?
Well, I tell them that they fucking better care of themselves because they sit around and they don't fucking work out like me. You see me in the dugout. But in terms of these injuries, it's very unfortunate. We saw that. We saw that. Luis Guillorme, who is the only left-handed batter on the bench besides Jonathan Villar. Very unfortunate what happened to him. He's on the 10-day IL. Brandon Nimmo, who knows, we're probably just going to fuck him in the ass some more, throw him out on the field, not fully put him on the 10-day IL, which would probably be the best interest for him. In terms of JD Davis, his defense is pretty shit. I think we may go trade him probably for a guy like Freddie Galvis or something like that. Freddie Galvis is much better than him all around. But in terms of these injuries, it's very unfortunate. Last year, we had so many pitching injuries, and I think it happened to switch around. 2019, we didn't really have much injuries, but I tell these guys they don't take care of themselves. They have to eat more McDonald's and fast food and takeout, and they don't do push-ups in the dugout. They're very active, so they have to take a chill break.
Awesome. All right, so I got another question for you. Can you discuss the lineup tonight? And we know this kind of also goes off of one of Humma's questions is why is Pilar batting cleanup tonight? And also another question I have, can you kind of include all this? You mentioned Pilar having, getting unlucky, you had some metrics that back that up. Can you kind of discuss that? Why is he batting cleanup? Can you go over the lineup tonight?
Well,
And
Kevin Pillar has been batting 300 these last couple games, and he was ranked on MLB fantasies to pick up. So I figured to myself, oh, everyone else must like him, so maybe I'll put him cleanup. We know that I did one good thing. A lot of people heard pretty much. I do what the fans tell me to. Steve Cohen, does that, so I figured maybe it'd work for managing. Um, so I so I figured that maybe we would, Pete Alonso batting second. Everyone on Twitter said he has high stats, WRC plus, batting average, on base percentage, career wise, batting second. So I figured maybe he could do something. We know Francisco Lindor has been pretty excellent batting leadoff. He's been getting a ton of hits for us. Definitely worth $341 million for sure. But in terms of the lineup, I think it's great. Everyone wanted me to include Albert Almora Jr. Everyone was saying, "Oh, we should just send him down if you're not going to use him, Luis." So I said, "Fine, fuck you, assholes. I will include him." So I did include him, but I did put him batting eighth. But in terms of the 1, 2, 3, 4, I was going to put McNeil batting fourth, but I said no. Pushing players down, taking them out of the lineup usually helps them get out of their slump, and he's still in a slump. These last couple games he's been batting over 300, so that's definitely a slump to me. If you ask me, I'd be hitting 700, 800 right on the dot. But in terms of this lineup, I think it's excellent. I think the production we're going to see out of this lineup is going to be very excellent. I wanted to put my power hitters, leading off kind of. But in terms of the lineup and stuff, I think it's excellent. I think we have a great bench. I'm in favor of maybe making like a 2-man bench for 4 more pitchers. I think that'd be excellent. We do have Jonathan VR, but we had to go through that lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty or righty shenanigans tonight. I'm obsessed with that. I say that before I go to bed. Today I write with my left hand. Tomorrow I'll write with my left hand. The lineup.
Oh wow! Maybe you guys should acquire Pat Venditti. You guys are all about lefty righty. He can pitch with both arms. Maybe I'll talk to Scott about that. But I got a few more viewer questions before I get to the next question. Though I want to talk to the viewers, guys. Please like this stream, and you guys also the pinned link. You guys can call in after Luis Rojas. We're gonna be having callers on the line, be talking baseball. So I hope to see you guys there. So I got a question, another question. I got a question from Andrew Acevedo. He's actually a really awesome Mets YouTuber as well. He said, what's your favorite part about managing this team? Lol. I don't know what the lol part means, but what's your favorite part of managing this team?
Oh, well, my favorite part of managing this team is that I get to be with this awesome team. We know Steve Cohen is a great owner and he has a lot of dough, and I'm hoping he could transition some of that to me. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll be owning the Mets someday. But I think we look at our team, we have a ton of success. I trust my bullpen. I trust my players. They stand up for themselves. I don't even have to go out there. And they just come out into the dugout so frustrated. We saw Milk. We saw Jeff McNeil. I think it was last September with the hit by pitch, and there's a strikeout, even though it hit him according to the review play. I didn't do shit. I figured let Jeff McNeil manage.
Well, you were doing push-ups, right? In the dugout, just trying to hit a lift.
Injecting some steroids into my ass, but
with Cano.
I think the best part of this team is that the players manage themselves, and they definitely make my job much easier.
All right. You mentioned Freddie Galvis. Another question from Humma. He's asking some good questions. How would you think about Francisco Alvarez, who had a stud game yesterday? You're on for Freddie Galvis. Would you do that?
I'd probably do maybe a guy like Richard Blyer in return for Francisco Lindor.
Francisco Alvarez.
Oh, Francisco. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Francisco Alvarez for Richard Blyer.
Maybe package both of them, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, we could package both of them. We could put Alvarez and Lindor for Milk for Freddie Galvis, and Cedric Mullins has been pretty hot, but screw him. He's not batting over. He's batting just 300. So we'll probably include. I know Jesse Winker got a walk-off today, so he must be the best player in baseball today. Hopefully he still will be for the rest of the season. So, Jesse Winker, he's too good for us. He's too shit, actually. Maybe if we want to get a guy like Joey Votto, that's his 300th home run, so maybe he'll hit 300 more with the Mets.
Wow, okay. Another question from Seahawks Jose Rodriguez. Why can't you be more like your dad, Felipe Alou? Because that a lot of people don't know that's actually your father. Why can't you be more like him?
Oh,
And also,
well,
Humma Humma wants to thank you for answering his question.
oh,
And this is the best moment of his life.
well, I think Felipe, he's kind of an old fuck. He's like 90 years old. He definitely does not. Felipe, he played in the minor leagues, with the Expos or whatever the fuck they're called now. I can give a damn. But he played. He had milk. He had some minor league experience. He did take he signed $200 with the New York Giants. But overall, he had a great career. In his last year itself, I think he had 3 at bats. So yeah, I definitely think I could be like him. I think I am better than Felipe Alu. We're both Dominican born. But like I said, he's a member of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. I think I will be the World Baseball Hall of Fame. He won a Manager of the Year back in the 90s. So potentially maybe I could do something like that. But fuck you.
All right, another question from Andrew. What's your favorite pre-workout?
Milk.
Milk. Okay. All right. So actually, I'm gonna have my final question. My question. Viewers are still welcome to
Jumping
submit some
jack.
questions. So a lot of fans, especially this Hayden kid online, want you fired. He actually made a rant
Oh.
video about you and Dom Smith. Do you care to watch
Can I
it?
hear it? I need to
Yeah,
hear
yeah. Here, let's watch it.
Fuck you, Smith, you fucking cocksucker. Oh, shit. Oh! Yeah, fuck him up, Tom. Go fuck him up. Let's go. Oh, where's Rojas? Oh, no. Where's Rojas? Rojas. Where's Rojas? Oh, fucking pussy. Yeah, then bring it back to Venice.
All right. Yeah. So, did you get a chance to watch that just now?
He needs some milk.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. What are your thoughts on
actually-
Hayden? Hayden, he's kind of a hothead when it. Hold on, excuse me. He's kind of a hothead when it comes to the Mets game. He really wants you fired every game. Whenever something bad happens, he pretends to get on the phone with Steve Cohen. So what are your? What can you send a message to Hayden?
Well, Hayden, first of all, I would like to say you were much better than me at everything.
Oh wow, you must be a big fan. Are you subscribed?
I am subscribed. I am not subscribed. I only subscribe to McBurgertown and Family Guy. But
all right. How's your hold up, hey, Luis. Considering you're a fan of Hayden, how's your your chair riding game? Like he's known for riding chairs, like in his videos, like he rides his chair out of the shot. What about that? No comment. Okay, thank you. So Luis, I'm actually gonna bring on like face to face with you, one of your biggest fans. His name's like Raiders fan or something. Here, let him talk to you. Mets fan.
Mets
right?
fan. Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Any question for Luis?
All right. First of all, Luis, I'd love to congratulate you on getting this job last year. I am beyond surprised on how amazing you have done at this job. How historically incredible you'd love to fuck up lineups, and
excuse me.
And also with this amazing stack and deep roster, which we haven't had in a while. I guess my general question is, do you think you are good at your job, or do you think you're good at your job? There's my question.
Well, listen, everyone deserves a chance. I think we looked at 2020. It was a great year overall. But we only had 60 games of baseball. I'm not really sure why, though, because I was in the gym a lot. So they just told me to come in those certain days. But, I think we looked at it, and everyone was struggling that year. Even I was, too. I was, I had too much dick up my ass. But, I think when we look at that year, it was tough for everyone. A lot of our guys, Pete Alonso had a shit year. A lot of guys did shit. Aaron Judge was he played the whole season for the first time in a while. Pete Alonso had a great year, and then he did shit the last game. A lot of guys struggled. A lot of guys struggled. It was a terrible year. The starts and stops really killed us. It was practically 20 more games for the rest of the month now, and that would be the season pretty much. We saw the Marlins. Teams like the Marlins. They were able to make the playoffs, and not the Mets, which I think is fucking bullshit. But Don Mattingly, he's quite the manager out there. I will say I prefer him as a first baseman and his defensive skills rather than his managerial status. But that's another topic. But in terms of the question that the Yankees fan asked me, or whatever the fuck team I am part of, I think it's very difficult to say. Everyone has to say take it with a grain of salt. 60 games, how could you judge a manager? We saw that I had such limited time to get into the swivel of things. Carlos Beltran was the manager, and he was probably one of the best Mets managers they've ever had in the history, more than Valentine and but I think it's very tough to decide what it is to be like a manager and be in their shoes and be given the situation of only having a month. A lot of guys, and I came into the situation. We heard Syndergaard had to get Tommy John, and Stroman had some injuries during the early bouts before the season. It was very difficult for me to handle. But I go in the gym at night, I do 20 push-ups and a 30-second plank, and that was it for me. I could barely do that. But then I ate my protein shakes, I ate some raw lettuce, some cocked meat sandwiches that everyone likes to eat. But yeah, otherwise it worked, and I appreciate it.
Mets fan, any other questions? Oh, actually, I'm gonna have to let you go because we got some more viewer questions. But Mets fan, appreciate you talking with our awesome manager.
All right.
We got a question from Andrew again. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Well, there's bread around it, so I would say yes.
Luis, a pleasure as always. I want to thank you for joining us. You got a game to go manage.
I am on this stream to the end, old sport.
Oh well, you can't have all day. We got some other callers on the line. I want to get into some more topics, but you're welcome to still watch for sure. You're welcome to use the chat. You can still talk with our viewers. They all are very big fan of you.
Tonight, I will see you all later tonight on the press conference, and
yeah, go have a good game, man. Thank you for doing this. Have a good night, man. Wow, Luis Rojas, man. Round of applause for Luis. I want to thank Luis for calling in, taking time for an interview out of his busy day of working out and managing baseball, making lineups. He switches the lineup every day, so it's important for him to, it takes a lot of time.
Thank you guys so much for watching. That clip was from this past week's episode of the Big Apple Baseball Banter podcast, which is now available on Spotify, Apple, wherever you guys get podcasts from. Please also drop us a 5-star and a review if your podcasting platform has that feature. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos. Appreciate it, guys. I'll see you next time.